Hello everybody. Today we are going to take a look at some images that were photographed on a set with a glow effect. And in order to accomplish a lot of glow effects, some retouching has to take place. Here we have 3 images and let's take a look at each one of the images. Shift Tab to clear the screen. So the first one is an image of the product. The second one is an image of the product with primary focus on the glow. And the third one is the image of the glow without the product. I want to make note that I did take a few moments I'm going to reset it really quick. I did take a few moments to adjust the exposure in the glow. Although it was a decent exposure, I thought it could be just a little bit better. So I cranked up the lights a little bit, and in the basic panel I pumped up the general exposure and I gave it a little zip of clarity. And once I did those things, I was pretty happy with the way that the actual product looked. And maybe I'll turn the lights up just a tiny bit more. Good. Alright, so now I still have my 3 picks, my product with the glow in the background, and then my glow with no product. You want to make sure you take an image of the glow with no product so that if you want to adjust the gradient of that glow, you'll always have that information ready and available. Once you've made your adjustment, you want to choose Photo, Edit in, Open as Layers in Photoshop. While that's loading, in case I didn't say it, as you are to choose your images, you just command click on each one of the images. Now you'll see that each of the images that we had selected will open in Photoshop as a layer. So if you just hold on one second, and there's the product, and it's good. There we have them. We have all 3. So on the background we have the glow. So let's just name this one glow. Glow alone. And we'll name this one glow reflection. And we'll name this one product, just so we have all our labels, our layers named. Okay, so as you can see, the product is here, the glow is here, the Silo is here, and the glow by itself is here. So what we want to do is get the product with the beautiful reflection on the glow. So in order to do that, we have to be able to make a selection. Let's just take a closer look here and see if they are in registration. So I'm just going to go to the product layer here, and I'm going to lower the opacity to 50% so I can turn it on and off and see if they are in registration. And I'm going to use my move arrow, 1, 2, 3. Oops, sorry, hold on a sec. V, 1, 2, 3. Yep, 1, 2, 3. So it actually was in good registration, and that's what we want. If it's not in registration, you can use your left and right arrow keys, left, right, up, down arrow keys to get the object and the reflection in perfect registration. Okay, so now we have our product and our glow reflection in perfect registration. So now we want to get a good selection of the product, because we want to use the product from the first one and we want to use the reflection from the second one, and we'll use the glow alone to control the glow. Okay, so I'm going to put the opacity back up from the product layer to 100%. And I'm going to start with the marquee tool. Square marquee is fine. And I'm just going to make a small selection around this area so that I can use the wand tool to minus from the selection. So I'm going to come up here, and then I'm going to choose the wand tool to and choose the Option key to take away some of these reds, because I really only want the figurine. Now see down here it started getting messed up, Command Z. It might be a better option to choose to use your selection or make your selection from the silhouette image because it's got more contrast. So let's shut this layer off, Command Z, just by shutting off the visibility icon, and now choosing the glow reflection layer I can choose Option and get rid of the rest of this red area, and it's not giving me much of an issue because the contrast is so high and I don't have to contend with other shades getting involved. There we go. And got that area good. Maybe I'll choose my marquee and my option tool just to get this little area of dots. I don't know what that is. It's probably some dust or whatever. And we'll take a closer look, zooming in. And we got a pretty, oh, there's another stray dot. Option. Using the marquee tool, Option, to get any of these other strays away. And I see up here we have, we're missing some parts. So let's try the wand tool. And I'm going to lower the tolerance to 5. And I'm going to click Shift, and hopefully I can pick up this black area. Ooh, I did a good job there. And good. Alright, so we did pretty good with our selection. Oops, here's another one. Shift. Good, we got that area. And Option in here. And marquee, Option, just to get a good selection. And now I might shut this layer off and go back in here to try and get rid of the bottom area here. So I'm going to just choose my W tool again, wand, and Option, and get rid of this. That worked out well. That worked out well. Good. Get rid of all of this. And now I'll go back to my marquee tool with the Option. So it's taking away from my selection now. Good. So now we have a great selection of just our product. And I'm very, very happy with this selection. So now I'm going to go and turn these layers back on, make sure they're on, and I'm going to choose any of the selection tools like the marquee and choose the refine edge dialog. And now it's going to show me, I can choose this view option and look at it on reveal layer. So now I can see how this is going to look right on the layers below it. So this is how it will look really if I committed to this selection. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, plus, and I'm just going to smooth the edge a little bit and feather it just a tiny bit. Good. A little contrast, that's good. And now I'm going to put a layer mask on my product layer. So I'm going to choose layer mask and click OK. And that's going to put a layer mask, and it's going to, white will reveal the product but conceal the rest of the background. And look what we have. So before we had just the silhouette, now we have the product on the silhouette. And now we have this reflection to contend with. Although it's beautiful, I do like it, but maybe you don't want to have that reflection reaching the end of the page. It might be stealing some of the attention from the product. So if you want to apply some of this glow alone on here, you can just bring this layer above the reflection layer, and notice that the entire reflection's gone now, but we don't want the entire reflection gone. We'd like to have some of it maybe fade off into transparency. So we'll add a mask to the glow alone layer, and we'll choose the gradient tool. Make sure your default colors of black and white are on, and that your black and white box is in there as well. And you can just drag downward. And I dragged the wrong way. It would be dark to light rather than light to dark, so I'm going to drag up instead, and that worked a lot better. If you hold shift, you can constrain, and know that the longer you drag out your gradient, the more gradual the transition will be. So I think this looks pretty. You might like it a little darker. I think it looks nice contrasty as well. Aesthetically, the choices are all up to you, but as far as I'm concerned, this image looks fantastic with the glow. And the last thing, if you'd like to further shape your glow, you could go to the top layer and add a solid color layer of black. Whoa. Click OK. And then click Command I to inverse it. And then you can get a brush, a big B for brush, and you can use the opacity at 11% or so, and with a white brush you can go ahead and you can shape your glow any way you want to. As long as you have the solid color fill layer, you can do anything you want to with your glow. You can darken the edges so that it kind of meets the area on the bottom, and if you did some work like this and you change your mind, you could always lower the opacity of the work that you did with the solid color layer. So the possibilities from here are endless. Please, please, please don't forget that you do have to take care of some retouching. Spots, stains, scratches, you would, above the product layer, add a blank layer and choose your spot healing brush tool, and you need to make a brush that's a little bit larger and get rid of some of these spots. And I have sample all layers on, Command Z, Command Option Z, and I'm going to shut that layer off for now. There we go. There's so many things to know about Photoshop. But if you were to spot these images in Lightroom before you get them into Photoshop, you wouldn't have to do this here. Retouching. And then you can turn that glow on and off and play with it. And then you might want to crop it. C, put the crop tool on. You can crop it to 8:10, and if you don't have this in here, you can always choose size and resolution, 8:10 at 300. Click OK, and now you can save your image as an 8:10 at 300 ppi. There we go, and return. And the very last thing you want to do after everything is all retouched, let's just, oops, escape. That was a boo-boo, don't crap. I just want to take a look at this and see how the quality is. The quality's still good. You want to get rid of any of those scratches and stuff. At the very end, when you're finished, you want to do Command, Option, go to the top of the layer stack, do Command, Option, Shift E. That makes a layer of all the layers below merged. You want to call this layer High Pass Sharpen, High Pass Sharpen. And to do a high pass sharpening, you would do Filter, Other, High Pass, and you could do 3, 4, 5. As long as it's not doing too much haloing, this is probably fine. And then you switch the layer blending mode to overlay, and let's take a closer look at that. So we went from this to this. That's a nice change, and there you have it. There's your glow.